Good morning. This may very well be the most important video that you ever watch. And even if you don't have any of these health conditions that I'm about to mention, odds are you will in the future, and that's statistically proven. Things like prostate cancer in men or breast cancer in women, thyroid conditions, which are at a pandemic high right now. All these things are what we're about to discuss, and it's been life-changing. So I want to give you guys a quick background. I'm going to try to go very fast through this because this is a huge spill, but I think it's important to give all the information, so you might want to rewatch this video if anything gets lost in translation. So, number one, my wife and I are both in the health and wellness field in some way or another. My wife's actually in nutrition actively in her career and her job right now. I got my degree in sports medicine, and so with those two combined, we're very health and wellness oriented. And so we're always looking for ways to improve our health. And we have discovered a thing that we just haven't been taught. It's just not taught in Western medicine. And I think that's kind of true for a lot of things. We don't have a lot of trust in the medical industry. Now, I want to mention that nothing that I say is meant to replace your medical treatments. It's all meant to be just interesting information, research. It's for your own database of knowledge that you have in your mind. Always double check with your doctor before you do anything. I don't want to get in trouble for, giving medical advice without being a licensed doctor. Just take this information and learn from it. So here's what we got. And this is something that's very important, is that we as a society, especially in Western medicine, are iodine deficient. Iodine deficient. 96% of American adults and probably children are proven to be iodine deficient. And iodine is a trace mineral. You don't need much of it, but it's a very, very important trace mineral that we just don't get in our diets. The way you get it in your diet is with seaweed and with fish that are actually caught from the ocean. That's the main way. Some soil in America has iodine, most of it doesn't. So, for pandemic proportions, we have absolutely no iodine in our system, and iodine is directly linked and necessary for a healthy thyroid, which will lead to an active metabolism. You see a lot of people who can't lose weight, and that's because their metabolism is literally 60% or 40% even of what it should be, and that's because of a thyroid problem. You see lots of cancers in the reproductive side of things, like your prostate, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, uterine cancer, testicular cancer, all those types of things, and they're all very, very connected to iodine. In fact, a lot of holistic doctors have reversed these types of cancers simply with iodine and other natural supplementation. So I want to mention this to you guys because it's very important. We all want to be healthy. And my main issue was sleep. I wasn't sleeping well. Well, iodine helps you sleep. It increases your metabolism. It also gives you more energy. It makes you higher during the day and lower at night, which is what you want, right? You want to be high in the day and energetic and get done what you need to get done, and then low at night so you can actually sleep and rest. I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would have a big issue going back to sleep. If I got up to pee or whatever, I couldn't go back to sleep. It was a miserable experience, and that was just kind of a thing that was happening to me. I was also having voice problems, or at least that's what I thought. It would hurt to speak. And I always thought, well, it's because I'm a YouTuber, I speak too much. But it's not something that I hear a lot about. Well, once my wife and I started supplementing with iodine and a few other important pieces, that pain started to go away. It's because literally my thyroid was inflamed and I didn't know it because I didn't have a nodule. My wife ended up with a nodule, and that's how we got onto this. We were told about it by a holistic doctor, and it's very, very important. So I want to give you guys some information on if you're interested in going this route and trying this out. It's worth it, believe me. We swear by it. We've told everybody we know about it, and practically everybody has gone for it and has had positive reactions. So let me just give you guys some information. Right now, the RDA, which is like the minimum you need for iodine, is 150 micrograms, which is not even close to what you actually need. The Japanese take in about 13 milligrams of iodine a day, and they get that from seaweed and sea fish and stuff like that. They're the most iodized people in the world, and they have the lowest rates of all those types of conditions that I mentioned already. They also have great metabolism, clearly. While in America, our RDA is 150 micrograms, which is like 100 times less, and that's why we're having so many issues. We don't take in enough iodine. So my wife and I started supplementing with iodine and other key pieces, which we'll talk about. We started with 12.5 milligrams of Lugol's iodine, which is a combination of both iodine and iodide. You need both, and they work together. Get that. 12.5 milligrams of iodine slash iodide slash Lugol's solution is what it's called. With that, you need selenium. Selenium is another trace mineral that's necessary in the thyroid chemical chain for hormone development. You have iodine and you have selenium. They work together. If you don't have one, then the other one doesn't work. And we started with 100 micrograms of selenium. So 100 selenium, 100 micrograms of selenium, 12.5 milligrams of iodine. Now, don't worry about overdosing on iodine. You know, I've actually been taking 25 for a couple of weeks now. I feel good. I've been taking 12.5 or more for over 2 months now. Doing great. Again, 100 times more than the RDA. I think that number's off. Anyway, so with the iodine and selenium, we're also taking sea salt. And here's why. Because whenever you start taking iodine, you start to detox. There is a chemical out there called bromine or bromine, and it is a toxic chemical that has no benefit to the body, but it's in our food, it's in our environments, our plastics, cars, glues. It's basically everywhere, all over the place. And it binds in the same place that iodine binds to. And so if you don't have enough iodine, you start to take in bromine. And one of the most common side effects of this bromide toxicity is emotional problems, depression, anxiety, things like that. So it could very well be that a lot of people who are struggling with these mental problems is actually just bromide toxicity, which can be reversed with what we're talking about now. But it's unpleasant going through the detox. And so one of the things that is very important is that you take in sea salt, not normal salt. Normal salt is refined, toxic, bleached garbage. That table salt that you use, probably not good. Real salt, sea salt, has trace minerals in it that makes it palatable, makes it good for your body. And I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, doesn't salt cause high blood pressure? Yes, if you're taking the wrong kind of salt, it will. But if you're taking the good kind of salt that has the trace minerals like potassium and magnesium, both of those things, which are trace minerals inside of sea salt, natural unrefined sea salt, then those things are actually blood pressure regulators. And so you need those things. In fact, people have solved high blood pressure by switching from refined salt to unrefined sea salt. One of my favorites is Celtic sea salt. There's also Red Farm, something like that, something red. Sea salt. And all you got to do is make sure that you're getting an unrefined salt, because if they refine it, they're taking out those trace minerals, they're bleaching it to make it look pretty, and it's making it into a toxic chemical. But the natural stuff is what they preserved food in for thousands of years before we got refrigerators. And we didn't have a pandemic of hypertensive fat people, right? That's a common thing now. It wasn't back then. And that's because we've made a lot of choices that have gotten us away from nature. Hence why I'm out here in the nature. So refined or unrefined sea salt, take about teaspoon a day. I usually take about half a teaspoon in some water in the mornings when I take my iodine and my selenium, and then I'll also put that in my food when I cook. And it makes food taste better, and it gives you it's good because the salt. This is important. The chlorine in the salt will separate the bromide and the fluoride. Fluoride's also part of the equation too. You get that in your toothpaste. It doesn't really do any good in your toothpaste. We don't use a toothpaste that has fluoride. Fluoride and bromide are both toxic chemicals to your body that are removed when you take salt. The chlorine does that. The iodine replaces it, and then the chlorine will bind to it, and then you'll pee it out later. So you might notice whenever you first start taking iodine and sea salt and selenium that your pee will have a color like a brown, or like just at least a darker yellow than you're used to, and that's because literally you're losing bromide, which is great. You'll also probably experience more BO than normal. That's because bromide is literally a translation from the Greek bromos, which means odor. So you don't want these things in your body. You want to detox these things, and at the same time, you're getting the benefits of the iodine, which is anti-cancerous, gives you more energy, helps you sleep better. It's wonderful. So I wanted to give you guys this information because it's important to me that at least somebody hears it. If you made it through this entire video, please let me know in the comments. And if you have any questions, let me know down below too. I'll share some links of the products that I'm talking about, mostly the iodine and I buy the selenium from our local grocery store, so we don't buy it online. And the sea salt we also buy locally, but Celtic sea salt is probably your best one. And that you can find that on Amazon or whatever too. So, like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. Oh, don't forget, drink lots of water, okay? Get your body weight divided by 2. And I'm talking about in pounds, body weight in pounds divided by 2. And that's how many ounces you want to drink per day minimum. That'll help you with your detox too and any symptoms you may have. It's absolutely essential that you drink tons of water when you're doing this, but you'll feel better. I have so much more energy. I'm sleeping amazingly, and I swear by it. And I've got my parents and my in-laws and friends and family and everybody on it. And we're seeing some positive results. It's amazing. And one more thing, my wife's nodule on her thyroid started shrinking within days of starting to take the iodine. It's real. This is the real deal. And it's amazing. There's some books and stuff that you may want to read. I'll try to share links for that as well in the description. And, yep. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm sorry this was 11 minutes long. I tried to talk as fast as I could. You might want to rewatch some of it if it was too fast, but I didn't want this to be a 30-minute video. So thanks for watching, guys. Post questions down below. I'll answer them as best as I can. And, yep, we'll talk later. Thanks for watching. God bless.